Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and yes, I am standing on the wing of a 747 plane here in the middle of a jungle, in the middle of nowhere. This is Thailand, I'm in Pranburi, and today we're going to find out what this plane is all about. Can go in? Yeah? I'll climb up. Okay, I'm going to go inside. This guy's show me the way. All right. Up. This one is. Oh, cup and cup. Well, that was interesting. Whew, that's a tight squeeze. Anyway, as you can see, thanks to my awesome tour guide, he's let me have a look inside the plane. Wow. Oh, wow. Crazy. I'm going onto the wing, guys. Wow.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Okay, don't fall through the plane. Well, to be honest guys, I didn't think I'd be standing on top of this huge wing of this 747, but I am. And it's quite an impressive sight, to be honest. But obviously it's quite dangerous, as you've just seen me fall down one of these flaps. Luckily I didn't go right to the bottom and end up injuring myself badly, but I'm going to stick to this hard surface here, which is obviously a lot better. Okay, the seatbelt sign is on and we're about to take off. Okay, that was a long time ago, and now it's just this. But you could imagine when there was 300 plus passengers on here, and this was heading to maybe somewhere in Europe, Switzerland, or maybe, you know, Paris. Who knows? This plane's done a lot of miles. So let's find out more about this plane. Wow. Look at this. Man, I can't imagine I'm in the cockpit right now. How awesome is this? And I mean, it looks so old. How did this thing even fly? Amazing enough, I mean, things are still still moving. Switches can still be switched. The captain's view. Well, a Boeing 747 is a very hard thing to lose. It's one of the biggest and most iconic passenger planes ever built. So when you find one parked in a quiet field about 45 minutes south of Hua Hin, you've got to ask yourself the obvious question: how did it get here? And maybe the biggest question is this: was this the start of an incredible attraction or the beginning of a very expensive mistake? So first, what exactly are we looking at? This isn't a mock-up, it's not a movie prop, and it's not just some random old aircraft shell dumped in a field. This is a real former Thai Airways Boeing 747. Its registration was HS-TGP. Its aircraft name was Teprasat in Thai. The word in Thai translates to English meaning something like divinely granted, blessed by the gods, or granted by a higher power, which is actually a pretty fitting name for a machine like this that once carried hundreds of people into the sky and carried them across continents. And now, somehow, that same aircraft is sitting here in a field in Pranburi. To understand the scale of this thing, you have to remember what a 747 actually is. This aircraft is about 70 meters in length. Its wingspan is about 64 meters, and it's nearly 20 meters in height. And when it was fully loaded with passengers, it could weigh close to 400 tons. That's not an aircraft you casually park here in a field somewhere. That's a flying building, basically. So in Thai Airways configuration, this plane carried 375 passengers. That was 10 in first class, 40 in business class, and 325 in economy, plus the crew. So this thing wasn't just moving people, it was moving an entire village through the sky. So for years this plane worked for Thai Airways, flying out of Bangkok. Now, without Thai Airways internal records, I can't tell you exactly every single route this exact aircraft ever flew, but public aviation photos and records show HS-TGP appearing at major airports around the world, including Zurich, Frankfurt, Munich, Hong Kong, Beijing, Singapore, Sydney, Australia, Mumbai, and even Chiang Mai. So this aircraft was part of that golden era when Thai Airways connected Bangkok to major cities across Europe, Asia, and Australia. So when you look at it sitting here now, it's easy to forget what this machine used to be. This wasn't built to sit beside a river. This was built to cross oceans. So why did Thai Airways get rid of it? Well, the short answer is the world changed. By 2020, the Boeing 747 was already becoming expensive to operate. 4 engines, high fuel burn, big maintenance costs, and airlines around the world were moving towards smaller, more efficient twin-engine aircrafts. So HS-TGP went from being a long-haul workhorse to surplus metal. And that's where retired aircraft usually have 3 possible futures. They go into storage, they get scrapped, or if someone has a big enough imagination and probably a very brave bank account, they get a second life. And this one got that weird second life. So according to local representatives speaking about this project, this aircraft was acquired from Utapao Airport in Rayong Province in 2023. And getting it from Utapao to Pranburi was not exactly a small job, because you can't just tow a 747 down the highway like a broken down pickup truck. Although in Thailand, I'm sure someone would at least try. Can you imagine the logistics of having to move this plane, separating the wings, the fuselage, the engine, the tail, the landing gear? All of that had to be separated first, then loaded onto trucks and then moved across Thailand, and then brought here and put back together again. That alone is insane and impressive. And the plane may be the headline, but moving it here might actually be more an impressive part of the story. So this is where I need to be a bit careful. There are claims online about who actually bought the plane, how much was actually paid for the plane, and which company actually moved it. But I couldn't verify all that from strong public sources. So the safest thing to say is this appears to have been bought by a private businessman or developer with the idea of turning it into something much bigger than just an abandoned looking plane in a field. So why bring a Boeing 747 to Pranburi? Well, a reported plan was to turn the aircraft into some kind of centerpiece with a cafe and high-end restaurant. The fuselage and upper deck will become dining and event space. And the aircraft would sit inside a larger development project on 80 rai of land. So local accounts mention possible housing, hospitality, and even hotel style development here. So the idea wasn't just let's park a plane here and hope people come and take selfies. The idea was to create a destination, because let's be honest, if you open a normal cafe in Pranburi, you're gonna need a lot of marketing. If your cafe is inside a Boeing 747, well, the marketing kind of does it all. The people will come just to see it. So this is the big question. If this was supposed to become a high-end cafe and restaurant, why is it still sitting here like this? As of now, there's no clear public opening date, no obvious regular operating hours, no menu, no ticket system, no proper sign that says, come in, have a cappuccino inside a jumbo jet. So first, costs. Buying a retired plane is one thing. Moving it, well, that's another. But converting it into a safe, legal, functioning restaurant, well, that's where the real money starts. You're gonna need power, obviously air conditioning, plumbing, fire safety, emergency exits, a kitchen, bathrooms, parking, lighting, structural work, staff areas, landscaping, access roads, and probably about 400 meetings where everyone looks very serious and nobody wants to approve something like this. So secondly, permits and land use. This site is close to the Pranburi River and not far from sensitive coastal areas. That doesn't mean anything improper has to happen, but any serious development here may need to deal with zoning, environmental rules, drainage, wastewater access, safety, and local approvals. And when you're building, used to be an aircraft, I'm guessing the paperwork is not exactly standard. Well, let's be honest, nobody gets people through the door once, but the real business needs repeat customers. So the question becomes, will enough people keep driving to Pranburi to eat inside a plane? Well, maybe, if it's done properly and correctly. But if it's only a photo stop, then the excitement fades pretty quickly. And that's the risk. This could become a landmark, or it could become a very expensive conversation piece for people to talk about. Now, I don't think this is a stupid idea. Actually, I think if it's finished correctly and properly, it could be absolutely brilliant. Thailand already has aircraft cafes and unusual attractions that people travel to see. And this one has a strong location. It's close to Hue Hin and it's near Pranburi. It has a river nearby and the aircraft itself is generally impressive. But the key word is finished, because right now the aircraft has attention, it has mystery, it has scale, it has a story. What it doesn't seem to have yet is it's not completed. So that's the story of the Pranburi 747, a former Thai Airways jumbo jet that once flew across the world and now sits here waiting for whatever comes next. The big question is, will it ever become the high-end cafe and restaurant it was supposed to be? Or will it stay exactly like this? One of Thailand's strangest unfinished attractions. So let me know in the comments. And if this plane ever does open properly, would you come here for a coffee inside a 747? This is your captain speaking. We're here on Pranburi Airways and we're heading out of the jungle back into the real world. So hang on, it's going to be a rough ride.